Alright, this is the second video, and this time I want to talk about a topic. And that topic is going to be, drumroll please, God. Very huge topic, right? Now, I've been an atheist for most of my life, but recently I've sort of started believing out of a necessity, you know? Like, I genuinely think that first, like, I don't really view God like as a person, but more of like as a power, you know? Like you do the right thing, you know you're doing the right thing, and you're being rewarded for it, you know, that's God. A lot of people sort of live astray from that, you know? Which I'm not knocking. I think that a lot of Christians are bad people, quite frankly, and I think that a lot of Muslims are bad people, quite frankly. But that does not have anything to do with, like, your actual, you know, character. You can be a bad person and still be religious, you can be a good person and be an atheist. Doesn't matter. Give me a sec, I'm having a panic attack. Hey, sorry about that. I just had a panic attack and then I vomited a bit. I used to get panic attacks when I was a teenager. And, you know, I sort of learned to deal with it, and then they just, you know, didn't show up for a while. And I don't know what it is right now. I think I might be getting sick. I am going through some tooth pain right now, and also I have quit weed recently. So I guess that all compounds to my mental health not being the best. And also, of course, there's the stress at work, you know, the burnout. You know, it all falls down to nothing. It all falls down to nothing. I just keep letting me down, letting me down, letting me down. That's Evangelion. The song is actually it's not in German, but the title is German. It means "Come Sweet Death." I really like Evangelion. Should probably rewatch it. What was I talking? Right, God. I'm very stressed about being a good person, right? I constantly think, you know, I constantly doubt myself, you know, is this really good? Am I doing this for the right reasons? Am I actually a sociopath who doesn't care about anything or anyone? Which, like, now that I say it out loud, it doesn't make any sense because, I hurt myself the most. I mean, I still do hurt other people, but I hurt myself the most. And it's hard. It's hard to be like that. It's hard to... It's hard to forgive yourself. It's almost criminal in a way, you know, forgiving yourself. There's a scene in Breaking Bad where, if you haven't watched Breaking Bad, I'm sorry what I'm about to say because I'm about to spoil some stuff. Maybe just like cover your ears for like a certain amount of time. I don't know. I'll just say it in like vague terms. So there's this character in Breaking Bad, and he goes to like group therapy sort of, and he's not there for the right reasons. He's there because he wants to sell drugs, which is pretty fucked up, right? And then there's basically the scene where he talks to this guy who's sort of in charge of the group therapy, who's like an alcoholic, I think, who ran over his own son. And he pretty much yelled like a breakdown in front of him, and he pretty much goes like, how can you forgive yourself, you know? How dare you take it out of, how you know, you killed your own son, you know, you're a terrible human being. Objectively, how can you sit there and forgive yourself? and it's one of my favorite, most favorite scenes in, all of Breaking Bad. Not only because, I mean, I just love Breaking Bad. Everybody does Breaking Bad. It's a great series, but that scene stuck with me. I think that's probably like the most memorable scene out of Breaking Bad for me, maybe. At least right now. Some other time I may, be talking, say some stuff about some other scene, but at least right now that seems very poignant. Because really, he has a point, like he doesn't really. I think that's sort of a point, that he doesn't really have a, oh shit, I might die. Oh, please don't, oh shit, oh fuck, oh, piss. Oh, peace. Please don't kill Ma. Shit. Yeah, that's just... fuck, this guy is gonna... Alright. We're gonna chill. And we're gonna make sort of like a little makeshift base here. Just for the time being. Because I want to cave some. Respawn point set. There we go. Got a crafting table here. Got this baby right here. And now... There we go. And it's also... Oh my god, this is so cozy. I love this. This is probably like my favorite part of Minecraft. The little moments where it's just like really cozy. And also the music. I really like the music. Yeah, What was I talking? Right, Breaking Bad. Because like genuinely, like philosophically speaking, I mean, I don't know, can you forgive yourself? Should you forgive yourself? If you really did something like terrible to someone, right? What, and especially if that person's like gone now, especially then. I never used one of these. This is so OP. What the fuck? Okay, I think I know how to use this. Okay. This here, this here, this here, this here, this here. This also here. Maybe I actually shouldn't put the granite in it because like the other rocks. Maybe that wasn't so smart. No, it doesn't matter. I can always just change it. Right, that scene. I mean, like when you really come down to it, right? It sort of like discusses like what makes a good life, like good in what way. A lot of people practice hedonism, which in case you don't know, that's basically like the belief that, oh, you're here to have fun, you're here to like enjoy yourself, basically, right? And that, I think that those people aren't like wrong, but I think that they're sort of closed-minded, Like hedonism sort of comes and it takes everything that you have, if you practice it in the wrong way. Some people might, be very, like in their mind might be like, oh, hedonism is the answer, I know this shit. But like, where does hedonism lead, If like your happiness is like in, I don't know, rampant drug use and like shit that, ruins you, then maybe don't. Like definitely don't. Like happiness comes out of eating well, getting a good workout in, having someone tell you they love you, telling someone you love them, spending time with people, being happy, being like being satisfied, satisfied. I get very anxious about not being satisfied all the time, if that makes sense. But like I'm gonna make some armor here. I would like to be satisfied all the time. It's that's like actually like a real problem of me, you know? Like if something doesn't go my way, or if like even if I doubt myself for like the most dumb shit, you know, I spiral a lot. Oh, I can actually dream. I can actually sleep here. Nice. Thank you. Did not expect that to happen. Did not expect me being able to do that. Yeah. So, I mean, at some point you have to like take responsibility for your own life, you know? Like we all have to do that at some point, you know? You can't just keep blaming your parents or blaming your childhood or blaming all of these external things when in reality, you know, I mean, everyone has a free will, right? Some people are like, you know, sort of fucked, for lack of a better word, you know? Like, oops, that was wrong. Like some people are like born with like genetic deficiencies, or like have like really extremely traumatizing childhoods. And those people obviously have like, you know, some might say worse cards, others might say different cards dealt to them at birth. And I mean that alone, like you have to sort of confront that, but also sort of say like, okay, I still did it, you know? Like I still have a power. I still make the most of it. I still do it. That's really what life is all about, I feel like. Jesus Christ. Whoops, did not think that was going to happen. This is the first monster I killed? Jesus. Yeah, life. Life is fucking crazy. Life is actually insane. The things that happen here, you know, like on a daily basis. Phew. Alright. I'm sort of... I think that, you know, especially because of like the fact that this episode was broken up in the middle by me having a panic attack about me, you know, throwing up. I think I'm gonna call it a day here, but the next video is gonna be recorded right after, you know, so not really that much of a difference for me. Alright, see you guys in the next one.